Hello everyone, I Nupur Sharma, Assistant Professor, Biyani Group of Colleges welcomes you all. Today my topic for video lecture is Adam Smith's theory of absolute advantage. Adam Smith has given the theory on absolute advantage in 1776. According to this theory, trade between two nations is based on absolute advantage. Some of the assumptions of this theory are 2 into 2 into 1 model, which means two goods, two nations and one factor, that is labor. Second assumption is free trade, that means no government interference in trade. Third, perfect mobility within the nations, perfect mobility of labor, that is labor can move within the nations but not across the boundaries of the nation. Fourth, constant cost production. Now in this theory there are two nations and the nation will trade only if the trade is mutually beneficial for them, which means that both the nations have to gain from the trade. Now nations will produce only that commodity in which they are more efficient, and that commodity will become the commodity of their absolute advantage. Nation 1 is more efficient in production of commodity X and nation 2 is more efficient in production of commodity Y. This theory can be explained by a numerical example like this. Here we have two nations, US and UK, and this is the per hour of labor which produces wheat and cloth. In US, 1 hour of labor can produce 6 units of wheat and 4 units of cloth. Similarly, in UK, 1 hour of labor can produce 1 unit of wheat and 5 units of cloth. Now, if the international terms of trade is 6 wheat for 6 cloth, if US goes for domestic trade, that is within the boundaries, then it will have to give 6 wheat for 4 cloth. But if US goes for international trade, then it will have 6 wheat for 6 cloth, which means that US gains 2 cloth from international trade. Now if we move on to UK, if UK goes for domestic trade, then it will have 6 wheat for 30 cloth. At the same time, if UK goes for international trade, then we will have 6 wheat for 6 cloth, which means that UK gains 24 cloth from international trade. So this example shows us that both the nations gain from trade, and therefore this is the basis for international trade, that both nations gain from trade, no matter whose gain is more. Now we can see that both the nations are gaining from trade, therefore trade is possible between both the nations. That's all on this theory. For more information, please log on to www.gurukpo.com. Thank you.